What's up, Tech King? Stefan here from TechRight. Today we're going to be doing a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy A51 and the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, so just starting off, I pretty much just want to talk about the price on both these devices. Now starting off with the Galaxy A51, this is going to be a mid-range device, so therefore it's going to be about $350 is what I picked it up for. You can get in between $320 to $350 on Amazon. I will put the link in the description down below. Also, you guys can pick up this phone used for even less, for about $290 I've seen it for. Now, going to the Galaxy Note 10, this phone is $999 brand new. So this is a full-on flagship device. This is going to be about $650 more than the Galaxy A51, and that's not even including tax. So basically, just putting up the A51 to compare it to the Galaxy Note 10, just to show you what you need on a phone and what you don't need. Now starting off, we're going to be comparing these screens. So the Galaxy A51 is going to have a 6.5 inch screen and the Galaxy Note 10 is going to have a 6.3 inch screen. So first thing, number one, the screen looks amazing on the Galaxy Note 10, but for most people I feel like the A51 would definitely suffice. This is a 6.5 inch screen, 1080 by 2400, an AMOLED screen, so a very nice looking screen. Now both of these screens do have hole punch notches in them, as you guys can see. So very beautiful displays and very beautiful design language. Now moving over to the 6.3 inch Note 10, this is going to be 1080 by 2280, so it's actually less than the A51, but it does actually look better than the A51. Honestly, if you put them side by side, which is something I might do in the future to the public and ask them which one looks better, but putting them side by side, in my eye, I definitely think the Galaxy Note 10 looks better, but it's not too far off from the Galaxy A51. Now onto the cameras, the first one we're going to be taking a look at is the Galaxy A51. Now with that camera setup, we do have a 4 camera setup right there. The main camera is actually going to be a wide angle camera, and that is going to be 48 megapixels. We do also have a 12 megapixel camera that's going to be the ultra wide camera, and we have two 5 megapixel cameras. One's going to be the telephoto and one's going to be the depth sensor. So one of those 5 megapixel cameras is actually dedicated to a macro camera, which is actually pretty cool, especially for photographers. So if you guys want to take photos on a budget with a mobile device, which is definitely more manageable now in 2020, you guys can go ahead and do so and get some pretty decent results. Now moving on to the Galaxy Note 10, we do have one less camera. So we have a 12 megapixel main camera. That's going to be our wide camera. Now for anybody who is not tech savvy, that doesn't mean the camera is worse than the Galaxy A51. It just means it has a lower megapixel count. Now this does have a better sensor in it, does have better optimization due to being a flagship, and definitely looks better. But I will put a comparison up of a few different photos right after this. But 12 megapixel main. Now the next camera is going to be a 12 megapixel camera as well. This is going to be f2.1, and the first one was f1.5 to 2.4. So it's really cool that we have a second camera on here. And now this is for telephoto. So again, if you guys want to take some really nice artsy photos, you guys can go ahead and do that with this camera. It looks beautiful. And we also have a third camera, which is 16 megapixel, and that's an f2.2, and this is going to be an ultra wide camera. Now we finally took a picture on both these devices, and as you guys see, they're pretty similar. Now comparing both of these photos look really good. Now do keep in mind that these are in very good lighting because I do have a box light right here. But the Galaxy Note 10 does have better stabilization as well as faster shutter speed. So just know you're going to get more of the flagship feel with an actual flagship device. Honestly, this feels pretty good as well. Shutter speed is pretty quick. Stabilization is pretty decent. Definitely not as fast as the Galaxy Note 10, but it will keep up. And I have to say, this looks beautiful. Definitely going to go ahead and post this on Instagram just for you guys to go ahead and check it out. But this looks absolutely beautiful for a $350 phone, and it is definitely still keeping up with the Galaxy Note 10. Now the other thing that I've noticed is this does have better edge detection, and the lighting seems to be a little bit better, but honestly, all in all, the A51 is definitely a really good camera in good lighting. Now this is pretty much where the Galaxy Note 10 shines right here. As you guys see, The Note 10 right there looks absolutely beautiful in low light. Low light, it looks really good. As you guys see, there was no distortion or any noise in there. Just a really good overall photo taken in low light. Really do enjoy this. Now, moving on to the A51, you could pretty much see where the price gaps out at. This does have a little distortion and a little noise. As you guys can see, there are a few lines going down the side, and I will go ahead and post this photo on Instagram. But it still looks really good. I have to say, it looks really good. Not as good as a Note 10. This is an insanely clear picture for low light, but low light looks really good on the A51 as well. Now, just wrapping up the camera segment right here, I don't want to get too into detail on this because I have the full review of the A51 coming out. But I have to say, these cameras are pretty close as far as good lighting, but once we get into video and once we get into photos and low light, Galaxy Note 10 definitely beats the A51. But the Galaxy A51 for $650 less, I would go with this device if you don't want to pay too much and want to still have a good camera. And if you just want the best, just go ahead and pick up the Note 10. But not everybody can afford the Note 10, and not everybody wants to put that much money down. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, and I think you guys would be really surprised to see that the Galaxy A51 absolutely kills the Galaxy Note 10 in battery life. We have a full 500 milliamps more than the Galaxy Note 10. Now, this is going to be a 4,000 milliamp battery, and then the Galaxy Note 10, we actually have a 3,500 milliamp battery. Now, I don't know if this is my unit or not, but I very much struggle getting a full day of battery life out of the Galaxy Note 10. Now, that is probably explained by me waking up at 7 and going to bed at 12 a.m., but yeah, if you have the schedule of me, Galaxy Note 10 definitely won't stay alive longer than you need it to. Now, going to the Galaxy A51. A51 has a 4,000 milliamp battery. Amazing battery life. I've had this phone last for almost 2 days before. Obviously, this is lighter use, so I'm not going to be really gaming on this device too much. I might play the occasional game here or there, but honestly, the Galaxy A51 has a battery leagues above the Galaxy Note 10, which is weird because of the $650 difference. But I have to say, Galaxy A51 kills the Note 10 in battery life. Now on to the RAM and the memory we get inside this device. Now, starting off the RAM, we have two versions on the Galaxy A51. We have a 4GB version and we have a 6GB version, and the Galaxy Note 10 only has an 8GB version, but 4 to 6GB will definitely suffice, especially for most people. Now, you can see some of the apps. If you have a lot of applications open at the same time, your phone is going to run a little bit slower. And the Galaxy Note 10 is going to beat the A51 in that division because it has essentially doubled the amount of RAM with its base model. But I have to say, 4GB of RAM on this device will definitely suffice, especially for me. And I'm a tech geek, so anybody who's really picking up this device, you will definitely have no problems at all. Just make sure to occasionally, clear your applications out. But I can't really say anything about this. Galaxy Note 10 wins, but it's kind of like a stalemate right here. For $650, you only get 2GB less of RAM, or 4GB less of RAM starting at the base model, and you get 8 in the Note 10. I feel like 4 and 6 is definitely appropriate. I don't think anyone really needs 8 unless you're doing really intense gaming or other things like that. But 4 definitely suffices, and 6 will definitely suffice as well. I still have to say the Galaxy Note 10 wins just because it has more RAM, but in my eyes, I'd feel like the A51 wins because who's ever buying this device is definitely the winner. Also, comparing the processors with the Galaxy Note 10, this is going to have the Exynos 9825, so this is going to have a flagship processor, and this one is going to be a mid-range processor on the Galaxy A51 with the Exynos 9611, but it's still a decent chipset, especially for the price that you're paying. I've seen some people even pick this device up for $285, which is an insane deal right there to pick this up for $285. Really good price. But yeah, the Galaxy Note 10 does have a faster processor naturally. Now, as for the storage on this device, it's really subjective to say, but this has 128GB of internal storage, and this has 256, so essentially double. Now, the thing with the A51 and why it's subjective is some people only need 64 to 128, so it's not too big of a deal, but it's really nice to see a mid-range device with 128GB of internal storage on it. This has 256. This is going to beat the A51. But for the price you pay, I think you're definitely winning with the A51 and its storage. The other thing I have to say about the software info is you can actually update your Galaxy A51 to Android 10.0, so that's really nice to see because the Galaxy Note 10 has Android 10.0, so these devices are both going to have the 10.0 UI, so you guys are running on the latest software, so that's really, really cool. Now, I'm not going to get too into features right here, but the Galaxy A51 and Galaxy Note 10 definitely share some features. Both these devices have NFC. Both of them have really, really good Dolby Atmos sound as well, so if you plug in your headphones, you can go ahead and turn that on. You guys will have a noise canceling type of effect when you listen to music, watch movies. Very great listening experiences. So as you guys see in the Geekbench score, on the left we have the Galaxy A51 that got a score of 348, and it almost doubled on the Galaxy Note 10 with a score of 748. And on the left we have a multi-core score of 1356, and on the right again about doubled at 2,772. Now this phone does have a ton of power, so just know that that's the reason for that. As a better processor, it has better RAM, so just do know that this is going to be a quicker phone, but half the score isn't too bad, especially for a phone that's $650 less. Now the second to last thing I wanted to do is run a really quick speed test, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. We have the calculator, camera, gallery, phone, messages, Tempo Run 2, internet, and settings setup. So we're going to go ahead and go through all of these and then go ahead and see which one opens up faster. So very basic application right here. Calculator in 3, 2, 1, go. Galaxy Note 10 opened up first, a little bit quicker. Next thing we have here is the camera in 3, 2, 1, go. Galaxy Note 10 again. A little bit faster. Next we have the dialer application in 3, 2, 1, go. As you guys can see, Note 10 just a little bit faster. Now it seems to be a tiny bit faster. That's due to the processor and RAM. Now we're going to go to the messages right here. 3, 2, 1, go. As you guys can see, Galaxy Note 10 again. And we're going to go ahead and do a game this time. So we have a game set up right here. It's going to be Tempo Run 2. Very easy to run game right here. So we're going to run it on both devices and see which one loads up first. So we're going to go ahead and do that in 3, 2, 1, go. So the Galaxy Note 10 did boot up a few seconds faster. Next thing we're going to do is the internet in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so it looks like the Galaxy Note 10 did boot up a bit faster. And for the internet search, we're going to go ahead and search up GSM Arena, and we're going to see which one loads up faster in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so definitely the Galaxy Note 10 booted up faster. Now the Galaxy A51 was actually pretty quick, to be quite honest, but the Galaxy Note 10 won that one. And the last thing we have right here is in-house, so we're going to go ahead and click on the settings in 3, 2, 1, go. So the Galaxy Note 10. So as you guys saw, the Galaxy Note 10 did win that, and that's mostly due to the RAM and the processor that's inside of this. But the Galaxy A51 did really keep up right here and hold its own, so definitely kudos to the A51. Really good device, and if you don't care about an application, popping up a millisecond faster, then really you shouldn't have any problem with the A51. Now the last thing I want to go ahead and take a look at definitely has to be the build quality, so let's go ahead and take out the Note 10 first. Now starting off with the Note 10, this is going to be a metal and glass mesh, so we're going to have a glass back, as you guys can see right there. Very cool color. Obviously we have the triple camera setup on the back as well. But around the phone we have a metal band, and we do have a glass screen, so we are going to have a really nice sexy AMOLED screen. Now both are going to be 60 Hz, but this is going to be rounded at the sides, as you guys can see. And yeah, now going on to the Galaxy A51, a lot of people like that this is actually a flat screen, and honestly I don't really care if it's a flat screen or a curved screen. Honestly, this is much better for productive use because a lot of people say that they mess stuff up sometimes when they use a curved screen. So it's cool that it has a flat display because a lot more people like flat displays, I feel like. Now on the back, we do have a 4-camera setup, as you guys can see, but instead of glass, we do have a plastic back, and we have that sexy blue prism design on the back that looks really, really good. Honestly, both of them look super good, and I feel like the build quality on this is actually pretty stable. And to be quite honest, once you cover up the back of the phone, which most people use cases, no one's going to see the glass back of the Galaxy Note 10. So really doesn't matter too much as far as build quality goes. Now both the phones do feel pretty similar in weight as well, so I definitely think that the A51 definitely feels premium, but not as premium as the Galaxy Note 10, that's for sure. Now the other thing that the Galaxy Note 10 has that the A51 doesn't is we do have a stylus, obviously, and we have a bunch of other features that we can use with the stylus, but to be quite honest, this stylus is kind of gimmicky. You can do stuff with the camera, you can take notes and stuff like that, but in my opinion, I feel like if you just take notes regularly with the keyboard, I usually do that more, and I couldn't see myself using the Note 10 stylus all too much, so to be quite honest, it doesn't really matter if it has the stylus or not. But that is subjective. If you guys do use the stylus and you need some like this, then this is definitely the phone for you. The last thing is the Galaxy A51 has something that a lot of people want, and that is a headphone jack. Now the Galaxy Note 10 does not have a headphone jack, and I feel like that was for the sale of the Galaxy Buds and stuff, but definitely need a headphone jack on my phones. I really like to have that ease just to go ahead and plug in, a headphone jack, so that's really cool that the A51 has it. Galaxy Note 10 does not. So for my final summary of the A51 versus the Galaxy Note 10, I'm going to give it to the A51 just because a few different things, and I'll go ahead and state those right now. Number one, it's cheaper, and honestly, I really was brave to pick up this phone for over $1,000. It's just really scary to have that type of investment around inside of your pocket, knowing that I can drop it and destroy it at any moment. And with this phone, if you drop it, it's a plastic back, it's going to survive. But it's definitely much cheaper. $650 is a lot of money, and I can't see myself adding another $350 to that just to get a Galaxy Note 10. But if you guys like the premium look, you guys want the premium screen, the premium specs, and everything else that comes with Galaxy Note 10, and you're a baller like that, then you can go ahead and pick up that phone. But I don't think I would ever do that type of thing with my money. This was purely an investment for videos. Now on to the next reason. Galaxy A51 is definitely for power users. This can last 2 days on light use. Longer lasting battery, bigger battery, about 500 milliamps more, as I said. And yeah, I just definitely choose battery over everything else, to be quite honest, on a phone, because if your phone doesn't have any battery, then you can't really use it. And the last and final thing, the A51 does have a headphone jack and the Galaxy Note 10 does not. So those three things are definitely a huge impact on my purchasing decision, and I would have to give it to the Galaxy A51. Now, do not get mad at me. Galaxy Note 10 is a really good phone, but I feel at the price point for over $1,000, I just can't muster up enough braveness to go ahead and drop that type of money on there for personal use. So gonna have to give it to the A51. Definitely put your opinions in the comments down below. Samsung Galaxy Knights, definitely take it easy on me in the comments. I appreciate you guys for watching, but I definitely love Samsung devices. I definitely love that cheap phones are getting good and good phones are getting cheap, because the A51 definitely shows us the proof right here. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like down below, as well as subscribing if you're not part of the tech gang already. Also, hit the notification bell if you guys want to be notified every time I do upload a new video. This has been Safan from TechRight. Peace out, tech gang.